The moment I caught myself mindlessly scrolling through Venmo is when I realized I might have a problem. Hey, my name's Carmen Lawyer, and my husband William and I have been coming to Canvas since August, so almost a year. The digital fast was something that really spoke to me, and I sent Ryan an email and he was like, "Oh, can you talk about your story?" So here I am. I used to have a 30-minute commute to work, and you can only listen to so much music. And so I started listening to podcasts. And through that time, I learned this concept of parenting your phone, being present. I was like, intriguing idea, but I didn't really feel convicted necessarily. January at Passion 2020, and I finally realized, okay, I might have a problem. So I gave my friend my phone, and she set a 1 hour social media limit for me. The next day, my hour of social media time was gone by noon. And that was me trying to pace myself so I didn't run out of time. After that is when I opened Venmo, and without even intentionally doing it, and found myself scrolling. And that slightly terrified me a little bit, the fact that I was doing something that I didn't even realize I was doing. But I still didn't care enough. My heart wasn't behind it. I wasn't surrendered to the Lord. So fast forward to 2024, 2025, and I was teaching my students. I was trying to teach them for a 50-minute science class, and all of my kids had phones. One in particular comes to mind. She told my team of teachers and I regularly that she would go home, take a nap, wake up, eat dinner, and then stay up all night on her phone on social media. No wonder I was having a problem trying to engage her in my class. I continued this journey of trying to parent my phone, and in January 2025, I decided to delete all social media from my phone. I was trying to get serious about this. I saw what was happening with my kids, and I was like, I don't want to be like that. In that time, I read like 13 books in the month of January, one of which was The Anxious Generation. While I was reading that, I learned that average users receive a notification about every 5 minutes. Heavy users, much like myself or my students, more than likely, receive a notification about every minute. So the next day at work, I put my phone in my desk drawer, and over several days, I started taking less and less work home. I was more focused during my planning periods and getting my work done at work. It was amazing. So I wanted to find this balance of like not being completely anti-technology, but also not letting it consume every bit of me. And I found this app called Be Present, and my social media use dropped to less than 25 minutes per day. Ironically, I found the app on social media. But what was the terrifying thing was I didn't need a passcode or someone holding me accountable, because they use the same methodology to keep you off of your phone that the big tech companies use to keep you on it. I kind of carried around with that journey, but I still didn't love how much I was still being on my phone. So I deleted all my social media from my phone this past January, and I decided to not put it back on my phone. I felt so much freedom in that, and so I decided to have all my social media only on a Wi-Fi iPad. I now believe I have a lot more healthy boundaries with technology. I say this because Meta emails me on a regular basis about all I'm missing out on, and I'm like, okay. Instead, I do things like read books now. I love doing puzzles. I learn piano. I'm learning piano. I'm learning guitar. I have more presence in my everyday life. The most poignant example, I guess, that I can think of right now is I took my first solo trip to South Carolina back in March, and I stopped at a Chick-fil-A. And it was the first time that I was somewhere without someone else, and I didn't have the ability to scroll on my phone or my iPad. And I was sitting around and looking at the people around me and just enjoying being where I was. I was being very present in the moment. And ironically, I saw a lot of people on their phones, but I'm pretty sure I also saw someone on their first date. And I was like, that's actually kind of cool. What God's taught me the most in this is it's really not about social media, but rather it's been about my intention and my heart all along. I was giving so much attention to my screen and all that my attention wasn't going to God, my family, and all the people around me. I didn't just get my time back, I got my space back. I got space to pray, space to hear his voice, space to worship him, space to be present. And I'm not like anti-technology. I have an iPad. But I've learned that anything competing for my attention can slowly take the place that God's meant to have, whether I realize it or not. This journey has been less about deleting the apps and more about learning how to steward my attention in a way that honors him. And it's still very much a journey. I don't want to make this sound like I've mastered this, because I most definitely have not. Even after deleting social media from my phone, I still catch myself to this day searching for Facebook in my apps out of habit. It's not about perfection and arriving at this perfect moment, but it's being aware of where my attention is going and continually surrendering that and stewarding it well to what matters the most. Thank you for listening to this part of my story, and I hope you feel encouraged in some sort of way.